Aloha and welcome. I'm Geralyn St Joseph. I'm a psychic intuitive, and I am here today. We're doing this live so that you guys can ask questions if you have them. I've been getting a lot of clients calling me who are way upset and freaking out just a little bit. People are a little more emotional than normal, and I want to address that. And I also want to help you deal with those feelings if I can. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to do a couple of card pulls. If you've watched me before, you know that I use multiple decks. So what I'll be doing is picking out a couple of decks and just pulling up one or two cards. And then we will see if you guys have any questions for me. These are not necessarily readings, but pretty much anything today is going to end up being relevant to more people than just the person who's asking it. Because what I am seeing is that, as I said, everybody seems to be very highly emotional. There's a lot going on. People are afraid. They're moving forward with different ideas, but everybody seems to be in a space where they're not quite sure what direction to take or what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, I'm live streaming from America. I'm near Philadelphia on the East Coast. I do have clients all over, including like Bali, Australia, Italy, and other places overseas. So just keep in mind that the energy may be a little bit different. It might get there a little bit later or a little bit sooner, but pretty much on a global scale right now, we're going through a lot of changes. Now in America, we're looking at an election that's coming up in November of this year. I'm like, when is that again? Which is going to be very interesting to say the least. But I do see the same kind of emotions and the same kind of friction, the same kind of, I want to say, upheaval in many places around the world. The number one thing you should take out of this is that you are not alone. You are not alone. Even if you feel alone, if you feel isolated, if you feel like nobody loves you, you're lying to yourself. You have to speak positive to yourself, and you have to really own who you are and acknowledge what you bring to the table. What are you bringing to your relationships? What are you bringing to others? So that's where we'll start. I'm going to do a card pull now, and what I'm going to do is go with the most common deck. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot. This is the giant Rider-Waite Tarot. So it should be easier for you to see. My other decks are not quite this large. This is the deck I use to teach with. It is not the deck that I use to read with, generally speaking. So here we go. Let's see. All right. You always have your cover cards, and you need to get those out of the way if you're going to do anything with your cards. Some people actually leave them in. And if it's just like a fool or something like that, then it's okay. But if it's a cover card with instructions, it doesn't really work that well to do a reading with. All right. So let's see. What does Spirit want us to know right now? And remember, regardless of when you see this, a lot of this is going to relate to you either way. So what we have is the Empress. And the Empress is very encouraging. Up here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is springtime. Spring is beginning. So spring is about growth, renewal. It allows us to be out in the sun more. We often are with our friends and family more during the springtime. Things are growing. The air smells better. You can open the windows, depending on where you live. And it's a time of renewal and a time when people's moods tend to get better. However, right now, with the energetic shifts that are happening, I'm seeing that a lot of people are in this kind of a mode. So this is 10 of Wands. Wands are about opportunities. But if you see this gentleman, he's like not looking where he's going. He's a little overloaded. The wands that he's got are very cumbersome. So at this time, one of the things that you need to be doing is really considering what it is that you really want and how you want things to be for you. So what does that mean? Are you more concerned with making money or having a happy family? Are you more concerned with just dating or having a real relationship? What is it that you want? And seeing that you don't need to pick up all the sticks, that you don't need to be doing everything all the time or being everyone to everybody. You don't have to be everything to everyone, is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to post a little bit here and say, ask a question. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on tonight because it is around 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I definitely do not have enough room on my desk. So when we're talking about the current energetic, what's happening is a lot of people are getting really anxious because they're having a problem seeing like what is in the future, what's coming, what do I plan for? Can I plan for anything? In many places in the world right now, what's happening is that we have a lot of inflation and our pocketbooks are getting smaller and smaller. So we're not making more money, but everything is costing more. Everything is costing more, from your food to your energy, however you get your energy, to maintaining your vehicle, to your housing. In America, especially, and I'm sure this is the same in many places since 2020, the housing industry has just exploded, and rentals are so far above what is sustainable that a lot of people are being put out, and a lot of landlords are having the issue of trying to keep tenants. You would say, oh, your landlord, just lower the rents, which would be great if the banks weren't barraging people with all of these extra fees and higher rates on their mortgage. But the only thing that doesn't seem to go up is our paychecks. That is why I am going to be doing a class called Your High Vibe Survival Guide. And what we're going to do is we're going to get together once a week for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, depending on how many people join us. And we're going to talk about how to keep your vibration high regardless of what is going on. So we're going to do a practice each week. We will be doing either a visualization or some kind of a clearing, something to help you feel better and feel more ready for the week ahead. And then we're going to discuss things that have happened to us, and we're going to talk about how do we deal with things? How do we keep our vibration high when the world around us is in chaos, or when everybody else is crying and in tears or yelling or angry? How do we keep ourselves centered, and how do we stay at peace? So that's the High Vibe Survival Guide. And I will be doing that in the following weeks. I'll be posting it. Make sure you write something below if you're interested in it. And it will be on a donation basis. Now, you do have to pay something for it, but I'm not setting a price. Usually for something like this, I would either have a weekly cost of $50, $60, or I would have like a total cost for the whole series. But this time, in order to help people out right now, because I really think we need the support, we need to support one another, I'm going to be doing it on a donation basis. So that aside, I haven't posted it on my website yet, but if you go to meetup.com, I will be posting it on meetup.com first. And my group on there is called Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. That's Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. That is my group on meetup.com. And you can look for it under my name, Geralyn St Joseph. Okay, back to doing readings. So the Rider-Waite Tarot, I use the least, but I teach with it because it has the most symbolism in it. And I believe because it has the most symbolism in it, it's the best to learn with. The deck that I like, you can tell my deck is well loved. It's all held together with tape. I got this deck in 1995, and it's been my primary deck since then. And it's called the Oracle of the Triad. It is a French deck. And there are newer versions of it right now where the colors pop a little bit more and they've changed some things from what I understand. But I'm sticking with my deck. I've been using the same deck since 1995, as I said. This deck has been through a tornado, amongst other things. Let's see. What is it we most need to know? Okay, so what we have here is we have doubt and we have protection. These cards, as you can see, look quite simple, but then when you really look into them, there's more there. What this means to me is that right now we need to remember that even though we may have a lot of doubt and we may be afraid of what's ahead of us or concerned about what's ahead of us, that we still have a lot of protection around us. So in other words, God, the universe, Jesus, however you want to look at it, your angels, they're telling you right now that you are okay. It's all good. You'll get through this. Hello, Amara. So we need to remember that as we move forward. Right now, getting through this energy, the key is faith. We have to have faith. We have to have faith in ourselves. We have to have faith in our higher power, by whatever name you call it, whether you call it God or you say Allah or you say the universe, whatever you're comfortable with. That energy that holds us all together and that animates us, that divinity, we have to have faith in that divinity, that we are connected and that we will be shown the right path. So that's something to consider as we move forward. And Spirit is saying that they know that right now things are difficult in a lot of places. And in a lot of places, people are really in upheaval and really concerned about their futures. So right now we have a couple of futures. And what will be my future is a little too big, Amara, to go into that full thing. But we will look into the other questions that you have, because that's a full reading. And if you want a full reading, we can schedule one. But this is more about how people are feeling and what's happening. So financially, you're asking me about a job. You're asking more about the location of the job. And let's look at that. Need to know. Okay, so we got voyage and we got doubt. So the first thing that comes up is that you think you know where you want to go, but you're not really sure. So Spirit is saying you need to really clarify what it is you want before you can get what you want. That being said, I do feel like you are going to be given a position where you're going to be able to move, or there will be travel involved. It's one of those two things. I'm not quite sure which one. But it feels like it does feel like it's a job that you're going to enjoy and one that you find to be fulfilling. So one that you find to be, I don't want to say challenging, because some people think that challenging is not good, but something that's interesting and that piques your interest and something that you may want to do. There are going to be a lot of changes around you, and it feels like, I feel like the move is one of them. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm not getting that it's a. So I feel like, all right, let me clarify, because they're talking. I feel like, yes, you do get to move. You do have an option as to where to go. The specific place where you're going, I feel like you go somewhere for a short period of time, like maybe a year or two, and then you hop to another place. But it could be, you're talking about moving into another country. It can be in the same country. It's just living in two different places in that space. All right. So um, okay. So I feel like when it comes to your relationship with your husband, I feel like that's something that needs to be negotiated. In the beginning, it feels kind of, it feels difficult, actually. Like it takes a little while for you guys to get into a rhythm and to really understand one another and to get on the same page. But I do feel like ultimately he is going to be supportive. Now, my question is, support in what way? Financially supportive, emotionally supportive? What way are you talking about? So if you want to just write down which way specifically you're thinking of, then that would be helpful to me, because it feels like there's some things he's supportive of and then others that he's not emotionally. Okay, good. That's always the best way. I feel like in the beginning he's not, but eventually you get into that. Like I said, I feel like in the beginning, when you first get together, when you're first together, it's like you're negotiating with one another. There's a period of getting familiar with one another. Ultimately, yes, I feel like he will support you. I feel like he supports you in most ways. I feel like financially is the most difficult, but I feel like he appreciates who you are. And appreciation is a form of love. And I feel like once you've been together for a while, I feel like that's when the love comes. I don't feel like it's necessarily like love at first sight or right away, but I feel like it's lasting. So it's just about, in the beginning, you have to negotiate. There's a sense of getting to know one another and really coming to appreciate one another, because there are a lot of ways that you're different, and it's about fitting in with one another. Um, but I feel like there's good prospects there. Yes. So, and I feel like he would be willing to move with you. Like if you had to move for a job or move around for some reason, I feel like whatever it is that he does is mobile enough that it wouldn't be difficult for him to find work or to move along with you. So I hope that answers your question. Do be careful though about, well, you're a Sagittarius, you said. Eventually, I think you will, yes. Um, you said you're a Sagittarius. So the biggest thing with him is you have to be direct. When you're talking, don't like hold back, like, oh, um, I'm not sure, whatever you want to do. Because if you really do have an opinion, he wants to know what your opinion is. You're getting to know one another. So don't try to mold yourself to him, because that's only going to cause problems later on. Okay, so just be careful of that. Don't lie to yourself. If you see red flags or things that you don't like, you need to have good communication. Like that's the key to the relationship. And in the beginning, it's going to be difficult, because I feel like, I don't know if you speak different languages or your communication styles are very different, but it feels like that's something that needs to be negotiated. Okay. And thank you for the question. Okay. So going back to general stuff, and don't be afraid. I can see YouTube. I don't know if I can see if anybody talks to me on LinkedIn. I am on Yardstream or StreamYard. I'm not dyslexic at all. I can't even say it. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is the Dreamweaver's Oracle. I love this one. It's so pretty. Just amazing. And that, I love the cat. It's so cute. Reminds me of my cat. So, and this is the back. Oh, this is the back of those. Okay. Ooh. You are more than you know, is what the box says. It's really cool. All right. So, what do we most need to know? Sure, I'll draw one of these for you. What does Omar most need to know right now? Okay. So you got this one. It says, if the taste is sweet and good. So basically, what this is saying to you is that one of the things you need to look for is that sweetness in your life. That is something that's going to lead you to things that are better for you. And by sweetness, I don't necessarily mean like, eating honey or cakes or things like that. But when we have those kind of cravings, what it is our soul and our spirit want sweetness. And that's to be treated sweetly, to behave sweetly, to be cherished, to be appreciated. All of these things come together, but it doesn't come together without a little bit of work. And just like the bees all work together to make the honey, you need to find your people and your support system that is going to help you make that honey and help you make that sweet life. So just be aware that when you're talking to your significant other and when you're around each other, most of the time it should feel very calm and very natural. If it feels uncertain or feels off kilter, you need to do something to adjust that. And that doesn't necessarily mean to not be who you are. It means to communicate a little bit better about your needs and to listen to what his needs are. Because believe it or not, guys have needs too, other than physical needs. They actually need the support like we need support. And they need the emotional support also, like we do. So keep that in mind as you venture forth and as you move forward in this relationship. Okay. All right. Only weavers know the time. See how beautiful that is? It's so intricate. So what that is saying is that we create our own reality to a certain extent. We create it with the people around us and the people that we draw to us. Because of this, we want to be around people who are not exactly the same, because that is boring and it doesn't lead to any kind of growth, but people of like mind. So you want to be around people who are loving, who will be supportive, but people who also will tell you when they think you're going down the wrong road, and they will help support you as you navigate difficulties. It's not about being a good time friend where you're only together when you're going out and doing fun stuff, but it's about finding those friendships that really support you in the hard times. Hmm. Yes. So it's about really finding that sweetness. It's like you're looking for that. You're reaching for it. And it's telling you that you need to find the people around you and the things that will support you and help you have a better time. So, and then for all of us, also, it's about, so if only weavers know the time, it means that we are being asked to be patient. We're being asked to let things play out. We're being asked to allow to make the space for things to move forward. So, Amara, if you want to have like a regular full on reading, which I feel like you need, because I'm not comfortable going too much into personal things while we're on a live, um, email me and we could set something up. I do have WhatsApp and I'm on a lot of different things. I have a lot of international clients, so if you're not in America, that's fine. And I'm going to give you my email. Okay. So there you go. So just contact me and we'll work something out. Because I feel like you could use the support and that you need to. There's a couple of different things you could do that are going to help you make it through this period of time. But it's always darkest before the dawn. So it will get better. It is getting better. It just doesn't feel like that yet. It feels like you're still in the rapids. You're in the part where it's like, difficult. But it'll change. It'll change, especially with the there's a total solar eclipse, which I know is going over America, but it does affect the whole world when we do that. And that makes things more tense a lot of times, and it creates a lot of anxiety in people. We used to think, well, I mean, there are some people who still think that the only reason why I did that was because people were uneducated and they didn't know what it was, and it's but it really does. During an eclipse, you really do see things in a completely different light, both metaphorically and physically. Like things are different. And there's a lot of tension that leads up to it because it's like these energies are right in alignment with one another. And it is eclipse season. So I know the one on April 8th is going to be across North America. I'm not sure where else it is. I just know it's going to be near me. So I'll get to see it this time. So, Maura, I'm going to pull one more card for you, and it's from this deck called El Quay, another French deck. I don't know why I get French decks because I don't speak any French at all. So I probably just was terrible with that word. But let's see. Oh, okay. So it's Carly, she who frees. So this is about really finding your inner spirit and allowing that to be. I think one of the things that's happening right now for a lot of people is we're so used to having to work around everybody else, especially women. Some men are like that, but it's primarily women. I mean, it's just part of our nature is to be pleasing and to be helpful and to do for others. Right now, what we need to do, though, is figure out what we need to do for ourselves, not in a selfish way, but just to support ourselves so that we can support others. I don't know if you've heard the expression about your cup. If your cup is empty, you don't have anything to give anybody else. So you want you to keep your cup full so that you then can help others. And that's really important right now because of everything that we're going through in this shift, which I've been talking about a lot lately on my videos about the vibrational shift that we're going through. And a lot of people are saying we're going from 3D to 5D, and what does that mean? I tried not to make it very complicated. I try to make it as clear as possible. Basically, we're being asked to choose right now. We're either going to choose authenticity or we're going to choose to follow the crowd. So either we're going to be who we are or we're going to set aside who we came here to be and we're just going to be a follower. We're just going to, repeat those sound bites, just watch what reinforces what we want to feel and what we want to see. And we're not going to pay attention to anything else. And we're going to be very narrow-minded. Or we're going to be authentic, which means being more who we are, having your own opinions, being educated, knowing what your body needs, knowing what your spirit craves, and knowing how to lift your vibration and stay in a better place, in a better space, in a higher frequency. When I say high frequency and low frequency, one is denser and one is lighter. Will you be independent? I think we're going to talk about that later because you have choices coming up, Amara, that are big life choices in the next couple of months, I'd say, not even a year, that where you're going to have to make these choices. We have a choice how we want to do things. So that's something we should talk about in a private reading. Okay. But we need to choose to be authentic. Or you might choose to stick with the way things are. There's the status quo and there's being safe and hiding in a crowd. Or you can be who you are and then really shine. And sometimes that means that people don't like us or we get attacked or different things might happen. But in the long run, I feel it's always better to be authentic because when you're authentic, you're not having to try, you scramble to try and please everybody. You're not trying to just fit in and keep your head down. You're just you. And when you are yourself and you have that confidence and that authenticity, it makes life easier, believe it or not. It might make it a little bit difficult in the beginning as you're transitioning, because if you were always a people pleaser and then you stop doing that, the people that you have surrounded yourself with, most of them are going to be around you because they want to use you and they want to be around a people pleaser because they know they can get things from you. But once you set those boundaries and you start taking care of yourself more, those people may fall off. The ones that are supposed to be around you, the people that truly love you, they will come back. And I think that's something we need to remember. So for our general reading from Elkway, let's see what she says. And this is what the box looks like. I mean, it's beautiful. The artwork in this is just really stunning. Oh, apparently I forgot how to shuffle. Okay. I got the same card, which was Carly. I didn't want to read the same card because we just did that card. Okay. So Enid, she who doubts, We've been talking a lot about doubt lately. There we go. And it's because with all the chaos in the world right now, it's making it difficult to really know which way to go. There are a lot of people who have worked their whole lives and want to retire now, and now they're looking and they can't, because even though they saved their whole lives and they worked hard their whole lives, they can't afford to retire because they don't have enough, because they're going to need twice what they thought they were going to need because of inflation and whatnot. The thing is, we can change things, but first we have to change us. It starts with each person. The world only changes one person at a time. And then another person and another person. And when you choose to be authentic and be authentically you, that does not mean being an a-hole. That does not mean being rude to everybody. It means knowing your worth, knowing who you are, knowing what you want and what you don't want, and having boundaries and standards. You may or may not know what your life's purpose is. And I have a video on that about whether or not it's really important to have a life's purpose, or if it's more important just to have purpose. Not everyone is going to be like Mother Teresa and know what she wants to do with her life and throw themselves into it and be able to do that. Most people are going to have more than one purpose. Your purpose today may be to smile at somebody coming down the street with a frown on their face and making them smile and passing it on. Smiles are contagious. A good mood can be contagious. Being patient and kind can be contagious. And all those things change the world, and all those things give you purpose. If you need to start looking from day to day for a purpose versus a life's purpose, that's okay. It doesn't have to be this big overarching thing. You don't have to be Stephen King. He's got that covered. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be somebody who's changing millions of people's opinions and things like that. You just need to be you. And by being you, you allow the person next to you to be themselves, and so on down the line. And hopefully, after a while, then we get to be a world of people who stand up for one another, respect one another, but know who they are and have those boundaries and those things around them. They have their integrity, and integrity means truth. And it doesn't mean that your truth trumps anybody else's. It means that your integrity is you being truthful about who you are, where you are, what you're doing, your beliefs. And it doesn't mean you have to be nasty about anything, but be curious. Hello, Arpita. Do you have any questions today? We just pulled a few cards for Amara, if you want to do that. Or you could just listen, whatever's best. So this is the next one I'm going to be pulling cards from. It's Colette Baron Reed, and it's the Enchanted Map, or Oracle cards. I like these. They're very pretty. Oh, and explore your life's journey. which is similar to what we were saying. Now, if you notice, most of the decks that I read, I just read the deck. I generally don't go through the book until after I've gone through the deck a couple of times, because I like to see what Spirit tells me the symbolism is. I don't feel the need to, I never memorize what different decks mean or anything like that. I look at the symbolism and try to honor the symbolism that's there, but I don't memorize, because I feel like when you're doing a reading, or you're trying to give someone a reading, and you're sitting there and trying to remember, what does this card mean, that you kind of, oh, all right. I'm gonna answer your question, Arpita. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? I hope so. Okay. May I know about my chakras? Are any of my chakras coming into balancing energy? I feel jerks during meditation. So what's probably happening when you're meditating, so you feel like your body is jerking, or you feel like all of a sudden that the energy goes. Oh, thank you. Cool. I like trying to pronounce things properly. That's always a good thing. So all right, number one, I do feel like your energy is a little wonky. What's happening right now for a lot of people is that everybody's kind of off kilter, because we're kind of phasing in and out. So when you're doing meditation and stuff, you might feel those energetic bursts. Yeah, in the neck and shoulders. Yeah, that is. I feel like you're trying to come online, but it feels like you have some blockages there, some stuff that's stuck, and let's see. It feels to me like either you're afraid to speak up, or you're not around people that you can really speak up to, or have like really good, honest communication with. And it feels like somebody's trying to silence you, because your throat chakra, that's about your expression. That's who you are in the world. And it doesn't necessarily mean like speak. It could be, if you're an artist, it's your art. If you're a singer, it's singing. It could be dance. However it is that you express yourself in the world, whatever it is that you're putting into the world. And I feel like there's somebody who's kind of like on top of you, who doesn't want you to speak. Like they don't want you to come into your fullness. And this doesn't necessarily have to be one person. It could be like either a group of people, or the people, it doesn't even have to be people. It could just be that you're just opening up. And right now there's a lot of spiritual energy around us that is really shifting us a lot. So you have to be really focused. What I would do is, I feel like you need to pull something out of that chakra, because it's blocked. Oh, don't doubt yourself. I can feel you from here. And I'm near Philadelphia in America. So do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself. But if you want to go through a cleansing, a chakra cleansing, I'm sure I have something on my YouTube channel where I do that. And if not, you can email me and we can schedule something. Right now, for the next month, everything that I'm doing for a donation. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things. I'm trying to make it easier for people. So for the month of April, the majority of what I'm doing is going to be on a donation basis, so that people can get what they need. Because I feel like people really need the support right now. Let me see what else is there. I could tell you just moving into your energy feels it's pretty fluid, except for when you get into the upper chakras. Like even like my throat is starting to catch just even going in there. So I feel like it's mostly here. So do you just deal with the core chakras, the core 7, or do you do the expanded? Because you do have a chakra right here, that's your compassion point. So that's how you deal with other people, and that's how you're compassionate. It's usually the color of turquoise, and then this one is like a bright royal blue, and that is your throat, and that's your expression. And then when you go into your mouth, that is your actual like speaking, like actually getting your voice heard. Being heard comes from the mouth chakra, and then you go up from there. But those three in combination, I feel like those are the ones that are kind of out of whack. And it feels to me too like your heart chakra, the word I'm getting is it needs to be soothed. Um, so and I do have things. I have a lot of videos on YouTube, so if you just like go through some of them, you'll find a lot of the different things that we do for that. But I feel like you could do with a really good clearing, a really good clearing. And when you're meditating, do you use any gemstones? I would suggest using calcite. Let me see if I have any calcite around me to show you what it looks like. I usually have calcite. Okay, let's see. Because calcite will help align all your chakras just by holding it. And it's also pretty powerful. And it comes in all kinds of colors, and it's not very expensive. That's one of the things I really like about it, is it's not real expensive. But it's very powerful at the same time. So this is, yes, you need to clear your heart, your throat. It feels like your lower chakras they feel like they flow pretty well. I would say it's from like your heart, your high heart, which is your compassion point, your throat, and there. You don't use any gemstones. Yeah, I feel like if you were to use calcite, and this is a calcite, it almost looks like candy to me. And it's a soft stone, comes in a lot of different colors. This is yellow calcite. I usually use gold on my solar plexus when I do meditation, and that helps with protection, as well as it helps keep you centered and grounded while you're doing it, so you stay connected. So that is the one big one that I would say to use. And green calcite is my favorite, but I don't have any up here with me at the moment. Because I have my stones in my other room. But calcite is good if you have it. If you don't have any, which you're saying you don't use any gemstones, what you may want to do is like look up what it looks like and just get a picture of it and think of that as you go into your meditation. There are certain meditations where you actually put yourself into a gemstone. Yes, you keep it with you while you're meditating. You keep it on your person. So you could like stick it on top of your head, or if you're laying down, I put it on my solar plexus. You can have it in one of your hands. You can have it in your pocket, anywhere on your body, and it'll do the same thing. It serves the same purpose. And you could use any color that you want. There's honey calcite, gold, yellow, orange, white, black, red, blue. I think there's purple, but I think that is very rare. So, yes. Okay, Arpita? Does that answer your question okay? And then, all right, cool. Yes, definitely contact me if you want to do like a full clearing and we can schedule something. I keep really odd hours. All righty. So this is the enchanted mat. I will get used to this camera someday. I've only been doing this since 2009. I'll get it eventually, right? All right. Okay. All right, so I pulled 3 for this. Oh, no. Yeah, because it feels to me like somebody's almost like hitting you from behind. Now you're having minor ones. Yeah, that's because you're more settled in your body. So you just have to put protection around you when you're doing the meditation from the beginning. So I usually use white light, which is pure unconditional love. I imagine like it looks like the sun is above my head and I feel the warmth of it. Or you can even use like golden oil that comes inside you and around you. Or if you're Christian, you could use Christ's blood, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And then you have it all around you and you fill yourself with it and you have it like wash away. Maybe it's balancing. It's probably better than when I first started because it felt like it was locked, like it was really locked in when it first started. So it's getting better, but it feels like things are still like a little out of place. Kapakai is what we would say in Hawaii. Yeah. So that's good. So for the general reading, the first thing that came was Spirit of Place. And it is a 4, and 4 is a number of stability and grounding. So Spirit of Place, what that says to me, and these are really beautiful. I don't know if you can see that real well, but there's like a butterfly wing and there's leaves and it's just beautiful. Spirit of Place. So that tells me that one of the things that we're being asked to do right now is to really inhabit wherever we are. So, like, really inhabit your physical body, really inhabit and find things to love about wherever you are. So, if you're living in a palace or a shack or in a cardboard box, you need to find things that you love and enjoy about it, or that you can appreciate about it at the very least. The more we appreciate, the more that we open ourselves up to blessings and the higher our vibration is. So we need to look around ourselves every day and appreciate where we are and what we have and who we are. Then we have the One Ring Circus. So basically the One Ring Circus is telling us, and that's a 1 and a 5. So I might as well do the numerology first since I did that on the first one. So 1 is the self and 5 is your humanity. So that's your balance. It's how you are as a physical person. And that makes a 6. A 6 is about beauty and having artistic ability and art around you. So it's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So just like that, a One Ring Circus means that this is your circus. You are the main character. You are the one who, whatever chaos is happening, you're actually creating it around you or you're allowing it around you. Because you're in charge of your circus, you get to choose how entertaining it is and who comes and who goes and the way things look and the way things feel. And how do we do that? I mean, because we have the rest of the world is around us, right? You do that through visualization and through really looking at the world with a different perspective. Trying to be more of a person who looks at the long story as opposed to the short little vignettes, and to look for things to be grateful for, look for things to say thank you about, whether it's getting a parking spot or having a warm bed at night or having a nice hot meal in your tummy, whatever it is, just look for things throughout the day. And whenever you can say thank you, say thank you. It doesn't necessarily have to be to a person. I always say thank you to spirit. So, like if I'm looking for something and then all of a sudden it comes in my head where it is and I go and it's there, I say thank you. It's things like that that help build up your vibration and help your frequency to rise. So, the third one we have, this is really pretty, it's the sacred pool. Now we have that 4 again. Thank you, repeat that. We have the 4 again, which is stability, and then we have 7, which is harmony. And together they make 11, which is a mastership number, which turns into a 2, and 2 is your emotions. So what is this talking about? Well, we're hearing emotions, harmony, stability. It's talking about being in charge of your emotions. So the sacred pool is about really cleansing out that which no longer serves us and becoming the master of our own emotional life. We don't have to be so we don't have to be a slave to how other people treat us. We don't have to be a slave to what's happening around us. The most important stuff is happening inside of here. It's happening within our spirit, within our energetic. We need to always cleanse, try to look at things with curiosity and with gratefulness. Show appreciation. Like I said, it doesn't have to be to a specific person, but you can just thank spirit, thank God, thank whatever you want to call it, but say thank you. And when we move through the world with appreciation and gratitude in our hearts, the world is a much better place. And this will help us to ground and find stability and find harmony because we are creating our own harmony. Do you know anyone who, when they walk in a room or if you're around them, it's just immediately calming? I have a sister-in-law who's a nurse who's just like amazing. And when she walks in the room, you could just feel like, like, oh, all's good with the world. She's here. And it's creating and nurturing that kind of an essence within yourself so that you have your own strength and your own harmonious energetic in and around you. So that is what is important. So when we look at this, it's like about being grateful for where we are and who we are. And it's about really cultivating that beautiful sense of gratitude and that sense of harmony, that sense of peace, and allowing it to move out from us. And it touches other people. If you notice, when you're around people, and it's funny because this came up yesterday also. Some people are very like, their energy is very frenetic. They're just always like, ah. And if you ever notice, those kind of people who are like an Energizer bunny, they will end up wanting to be around or tending to find a partner who's very mellow. Because for the mellow person, the person who's frenetic and up here, it pulls them up a little bit so they have a little more energy. And for the person who's frenetic and like always like, oh my God, what's going on? Up here, it pulls them and soothes them so that they balance one another out. So that's what we want to do. We want to do it for ourselves, but in doing it for ourselves, we do it for others also because our energy affects everything around us. It affects everything we touch, everything we look at, every place we are. And what we want to add to the world is this sense of harmony and a sense of peace. And if it can't be peaceful and harmonious, at least let it be curiosity. Instead of going in aggressive and like you know everything, let it be curiosity. Okay, so I don't know how long we've been on and I don't know where to look for it. But I think it's time for me to get off. I think we've been on for about an hour at this point. because I think it was around 10:30. It's now 11:23 here in Philadelphia. So let me leave you with this. What we need right now as a populace, as humanity, we need to start approaching each other with curiosity, with understanding, and allow for the conversation. How to protect your positive energies afterwards. So the way you protect your positive energy, I am doing a class which is going to be called the High Vibe Survival Guide. It's not on my website yet, but it will be there. So just check, and that is voiceofspirit.com. And I'm going to do that it's going to be on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are. We're going to meet like once a week, and we're going to talk about things. We're going to have a lesson, and then something that we're going to do that's specific to help us keep our energies high. So every class is probably going to start with a clearing of some kind, and then we'll talk, and then we'll go into something a little more thorough, I guess. So the way to protect your positive energy throughout, regardless of how people are around you, is to stay within yourself to a certain extent. So yes, you're approaching with curiosity, but like when somebody's screaming at you and they don't know, like they're just so angry, don't take it personally, because most of the time it's going to have nothing to do with you. It's going to be because they got in a fight with their significant other in the morning, or their car broke down, or they're having a money problem, or they fought with somebody else, and then you happen to step in it. So dealing with people like that, if you don't give it back, if you stay calm and you stay centered and you just breathe deep while they're yelling at you, they will either run out of steam or they will start to calm down. Another way to undermine that kind of energy is to say, you seem like you're having a really bad day. What's going on? Are you okay? And oftentimes just meeting them with curiosity will break that cycle. But if it doesn't and you need to get out of there, get out of there. If you do happen to pick up negativity from someone, like you start feeling lousy because you've been around somebody who's like got real sticky energy, one of the easiest things to do, let me see if I have it here. I do. Rose water. Rose water is very high vibration, real easy. It's not terribly expensive. You can also make your own. And you just, real quick, you do in your palms, or you can over your head, even do in your face, because rose water is good for your skin. And that will break off a lot of the negativity. I guess somebody's really screaming at you, just spray them in the face with it. Don't do that. That was just a joke. Because you could get in trouble for that unless it's your brother or sister. Tammy, no! But how to distinguish between we made a mistake and have to learn something. One more thing with the cleansing to get rid of any stickiness. The other thing you can do is you could just go somewhere and wash your hands up to your elbows. If you can't take a full shower, you want to wash your hands up to your elbows, and that will help get off any extraneous energy that's not supposed to be there. So when you're approaching things with curiosity, automatically when you're approaching things with curiosity, you are already allowing that you're learning something from it, because you're asking questions, you're trying to be kind, you're keeping yourself centered. So you could learn from everything It's not really where you have to say, like, okay, this is happening to me because I have this karma. It's more, it's happening to you. And maybe what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to learn how to settle that energy. Maybe you're supposed to learn how not to take things personally. Because right now, that is like the biggest lesson for people. Because people, at least in America, and I see it in some other countries, they're just so like everything is about them and it's not about you. When somebody is overly reactive, it's about them. It's something they're going through. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you. It's not because you said, hey, hun. It's because they're having a problem and you're the person that they're taking it out on for whatever reason. But taking the high vibe survival guide, becoming a part of that will help give you the tools that you need to stay in a higher vibration. And we'll go through different ways to do that. And I also have a YouTube video that you can look up. Lots of YouTube videos here. And it's called 10 Tips for a Higher Vibration. And then I also have, I think, 7 signs of low vibration. So they kind of go together. I think I probably have a playlist with those so that you can get a good idea of what we're talking about and different ways to resolve things. So I'm glad to see more people here. So I'm gonna type out the high vibe survival guide. Oh, come on. Survival guide. It's going to be on Meetup, and my Meetup's name is Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. So, oh, you're welcome. So just for anybody who's just joining us, I have several websites, but the website that I'm going to put this on is voiceofspirit.com. Thank you, Alexis. I cut it myself, believe it or not. I had a dream of how to cut it because it was getting on my nerves. And I woke up in the morning and I just did it, and it came out pretty good. And then my child did the colors. I don't know if you can see the colors very well, but I like doing the colors because they're fun. I miss you guys. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Arpita. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So make sure you subscribe because I see you're coming in from YouTube. So subscribe and click that little bell. Yes. Alex, I love you. Missed you too. I miss all my friends. I have friends everywhere. I'm a very lucky, very blessed woman to have come across so many really awesome people during my time here on Earth. So, got a few more years left, a few more. So, oh, thank you. Awesome. So, does anybody else have any questions they'd like me to answer about metaphysics? If they have a question they want me to pull a card, just let me know. Or about, now I have my crystal bowl full of gemstones. I'm sure I could pull out a gemstone for any of you guys. This is my favorite, or one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. This is carnelian. Carnelian is an agate. And I like things that have like little windows. Like this has this, just one little spot where the color is completely different. And I love that. I love them with like strange little thing. No more years to come ahead of you. Yeah. It's been a wild ride, and it's going to continue to be pretty wild, I think. Which is okay. That is okay. And then I love this one. That is a jasper. Isn't that pretty? It's like a green. So, all right. And then this is one of my favorites too. This is called fluorite, and this is rainbow fluorite. So this one has several different colors of fluorite in it. It's got the purple, There's a little bit of blue. It's got green, a little bit of clear. You could see it better. I don't want to put it too close to the camera because then the camera gets all kapakai. So, and then this is also fluorite, and it looks almost black, but this is a really, really dark purple. Isn't that pretty? Yes, I am the gemstone mama. Woo woo! And I was going to wear the bracelet that you gave me today too, but I ended up not putting it on yet because it gets stuck on my sweater. But I love them. So yes, we are going through a lot of changes right now, and we definitely need each other, and we need to support one another. We need to approach each other as in a sense of curiosity and be peaceful. Don't take things personally. They're not personal. No matter what the person is saying to you, they might be trying to get to you and stuff. It's not personal. Let it stay out there. You don't have to own that. You don't have to take it into your energetic being. So, do you guys want to do a quick little clearing with me? Would you like that? Can we do that before I go? So, and this is my special little glitter jar that my friend Melanie made me when I was up in Maine. And it's very soothing. I love this thing. You just like shake it up, you watch the glitter. It just makes you feel good. And there's cute little butterflies and stuff in it. You can't really see them very well on the camera. You can see things in there. All right. So yeah, let's do a clearing. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I always have a bell somewhere near me because I collect them. I love bells. I love a lot of things. I just love things. I love life. All right. So I don't know how well this is going to come across because I usually don't use StreamYard when I'm doing this stuff, but let's do this. Okay. Take a deep breath. Hold it and release slowly. And relax. And again, hold it and release slowly. One more time. Breathe in and release. There's a ball of white light above our heads. From it emanates light that enters us through the tops of our heads and fills us with its energy. Feel the warmth of the energy as it fills your head, into your mouth, down your throat, into your chest, down your arms, out your hands, through your waist and your hips, through your thighs and your knees, down your calves and out your feet. The ball of white light expands and descends until it encompasses us. Above and below, to the right and the left, in front, behind, and within. Feel the energy as it swirls around you and through you, gently dissolving any and all blockages, removing all negativity, clearing all cords, leaving you free to glow and see yourself as glowing from within. Imagine down your center, moving through your entire body, through your aura, is your core chakra system. At your sitting bones is your root, red, connecting you to earth. Imagine the white light moving through it, clearing it, cleansing it, setting it, balancing it just right. It moves up to your sacral chakra, sitting just below your belly button. And the white light moves through it, clearing it, cleansing it, balancing it, beautiful bright orange. And the white light moves up to our solar plexus, beautiful golden yellow, clear as sunshine, bright and beautiful. It cleanses and clears this balancing point and helps us balance our emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical selves. And the white light moves up to our heart chakra. It looks like the yin and yang symbol, green and pink playing together playfully, spinning, beautiful and clear as they balance each other out. The love of self and the love of others. And we feel our hearts open and expand. As the white light moves through to help heal and fortify our loving natures. Pink and green, beautiful and bold as they play with one another. The white light moves up to our throat and it blasts through our throat chakra, removing any and all negativity, any and all hooks, cords, things impelled or compelled into our system. And as we remove these and we release them, we feel our necks relax. We feel our throats open up. We see a beautiful royal blue. And as the white light moves through it, intensifying the color, clarifying it, we move up to our third eye, between our brows, indigo, like the night sky, with sparkling stars. Feel the white light as it moves through our third eye, cleansing and clearing and balancing, removing any and all distortion. Our eyes are clear and we have control over opening and closing them, and they are filtered by our higher selves and our primary guardians and guides with the pure unconditional love of spirit. And our third eye blinks open. We can see eternity there. Then we move up to the crown, which sits on the top of our head and encompasses the crown of our head and down over our temples. It is a beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus, and the petals begin as a beautiful blue, purple, violet color, and it opens up to white, and then the tips are gold. And we feel our crown open and clear and cleanse. And our crown also, we can control whether it is opened or closed, and we do not give access to ourselves or our crowns to anyone but our highest and greatest good, the love of God and divinity, and it connects us to Source. And we see our 1,000-petal lotus blooming in all its brilliance and grandeur. And as we feel all of our chakras come into balance with their energies playing with one another, connected, individual, yet one, and we feel the white light moving all through us, we feel free and clear. Take a deep breath and release, letting go of anything else that needs to be gone. And again, and blow out. And one more time. You're free and glowing and light. The ball of white light contracts once more until it moves through us, taking with it all that does not serve our highest and greatest good, and leaving behind a soft white glow of protection and support. As I say it, so mote it be. Amen. When you're ready, open your eyes. You can move around a little bit. Okay. I hope you guys all feel good now and are relaxed, and will be able to go through your day or finish your day wherever you are. Watch out for me. I'm going to try to do these lives more often, at least once a month. I'm going to shoot for once a week. Only Spirit knows if that's going to happen, though. So make sure you subscribe and you hit the bell so that you know when I'm uploading a new video or when I'm going live. And if you're on Facebook, you could always join me on Facebook. This is Geralyn St Joseph signing out. Blessings to all. Thank you so much for all your wonderful questions and your great support. And hopefully we'll be able to see each other in person at some point, especially my buds like Alexis and Tammy and everyone. I would love to see you all at some point. You ever come close to Philly in America, East Coast, look me up. You are very welcome. Namaste and blessings. I hope to see you all soon. Mahalo and thank you.